will edit the title later and add your name to it because I did not do that, and I apologize about that. So, and I didn't know what number we were on either. So at that, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's 12 or 13, right?
Yeah, most probably. I don't know. I think it's around 12.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're pretty up there now. We're getting good. We're getting up there, man. We're getting up there. That's good.
Yeah,
They say that
this is your
repetition.
life, so you drive it.
So I drive it. All
Yeah.
right. So how was so yeah, a lot of the protests there, man. What was going on exactly? You want to explain that at all? I mean, besides because you said there was three different rallies. I remember that.
Mm.
And I guess I'm just curious what if there why there was three specifically if they're I get the opposing side.
Yeah. Um, what can I say? Basically, I think the protest that was done in the park where we visited last time,
Yeah.
um, it was hosted by like, you know, there's a specific word for it actually. I forgot. Um, what do you call this kind of faction where in uh, most people who are a part of it are like middle classes or something.
Oh, middle class. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. So it was like a kind of more of a middle class taxpayer level people who are feel like their money might not be getting spent right or something, or is that kind of what you're going on getting at? People a little bit more invested in the political game there and stuff like that.
Those people who are like more labor leaning kind of ideologies.
Are we talking
So
like a Marxist kind of thing, or
yeah, kind of those.
gotcha.
I don't want to say like a more polarizing word.
No, I completely get you. I think Marx is all right. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
the word's probably acceptable there. More less polarizing, hopefully, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
And the one along edge are like the richer kind of people.
right. So
So
so it's
it's a little bit more quiet, I think, more peaceful.
okay. Yeah, I
And
just
then the other one is like with the other.
yeah, a little bit more hectic. That was the thing. I kept seeing videos online because I do have quite a few Filipino people on there on my Facebook and stuff like that, and they were like posting videos, and those are the ones I sent you, obviously, with
Mhm.
the riot shields and everything else like that. I'm like, what's going on here? Because from what you were saying, it was pretty calm and whatever else, and that must be more the other groups. I don't know. Like you said, there's three different protests going on and stuff like that
Mhm.
there. So I think I got like just a specific view of it due to the people on Facebook, and also I can't really super understand like the Filipino language. So you know what I mean. Obviously, I
Right.
can't read the captions and know exactly what group is what and everything else like that. So I kind of was curious more. You saw the videos
And
I sent you, obviously.
yeah. Yeah. Um, I think yesterday the mayor of Manila mentioned that the one, those people who actually started the riot were paid by a politician.
Oh, really?
So they're trying to find out more about it,
That makes sense. That
which
happens a
is
lot,
weird
actually.
because because those people actually started the writer supporting the ones that he supported last election.
The ones the mayor supported last election? Or I'm confused, I guess. Can you explain that a little bit more to me, what you mean?
Mm, you know our vice president, right?
I'm not by name or anything like that.
The daughter of the ex-president. So those supporters who started the riot were like supporters of our ex-president, and then the mayor actually was the her vice president supported this mayor actually when he ran last election.
Oh, okay. So can we, for the audience, just do names a little bit and stuff? Just because I'm other people probably don't know who these people are. And I'll be honest, I'm not super familiar. I only know like, a couple of the presidents and stuff like that there and everything else.
This is what I heard about the news. Okay, so that's not my. So
Not what you
basically,
think exactly. I get that. I'm just like kind of like I'm just trying to get the perspective of what the mayor was saying and everything else like that, I guess. 'Cause that's what you mentioned.
so those people who supported the riot were supporters of the father of the vice president,
Okay. Okay. Those are like the
and
ones
this
like
vice president actually like supports the mayor of Manila. So
the new one then?
yeah, yeah,
Is that the same one that is like taking all these trips or whatever else like that you were telling
yeah,
me about?
yeah.
Man. You know, I don't really like, you know what I mean? Like we were talking about, like sometimes I support certain levels of spending for, like you said, they're like for intelligence stuff or whatever else like that. I can't remember exactly what you said, like knowledge or whatever. I can't quite remember, but you know what I mean? Like it's like one thing if you're like, you gotta have security and stuff like that. And I get that obviously with travel you're gonna have more of that, but you probably shouldn't be on vacation all the time either. And that's what you
Really
kind
don't
of made it
get the
seem like.
traveling idea because she's still being paid
Yeah,
and
exactly. That's
she's
what I
using
mean.
the people's money. I think even if she said she's like using her own money, but the other personnels with him are using the taxpayers' money. So and she
Yeah, see,
should be doing her work here,
that's what I
not
was
in other
thinking.
countries.
See, the only thing I could even possibly deem as it like mildly possibly acceptable is like if she's like working with like foreign countries or something while she's traveling, you know what I mean? But like if she were to be working, you know what I mean, like diplomacy kind of stuff, you know what I mean? But I can't imagine that's what's going on. Is it? I think it like way you made it sounded kind of like this is like straight vacation and stuff like
What
that.
do you mean diplomacy? Every time, every country she goes, there's a rally. She starts a rally there.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. So like that's like um politics stuff. She's doing politics stuff as she travels. And I don't know if like that's intentional or what, you know what I mean? That's
The thing
I
is
don't
this.
that's
The thing is
I'm
that
that's
it
like a new
was
piece of information for me, actually.
uh, um the past president is currently in Hague, right? So they kind of asked the Hague actually to have him release.
Yeah.
So those rallies where she attended in other countries were used against her. She's like, um,
What are the rallies about?
apparently in the rally she was selling that the previous president was kidnapped, and
Oh,
they don't really accept the kind of the jurisdiction of Hague. So
gotcha.
it was used against his father actually for the interim release because he's like um, a flight risk because of those rallies that are happening around.
So basically, what's going on is she's going to you. So she's using this like travel to protest the imprisonment of the previous president. Essentially, is kind of what you're getting
Yeah,
at here.
yeah.
I could see why the money would be kind of necessary, but I don't know if like that is the exact
I mean, you should be
purpose
serving the
of the vice
Filipino people,
president.
not your father.
Yeah,
You're
no,
the
no, I get
vice
that.
president.
No,
You
I
shouldn't
completely
use it
understand that.
actually for those things.
No, no, I agree with you. I can see why that would necessitate money to have like the because we're talking about it's like for an intelligence budget or whatever else. I can see why that she would need a higher intelligence budget if she's pressing certain subjects like that. You know what I mean? Because that's like a high risk move and everything else like that. Is this this isn't because we were talking about Duterte's son or whatever and how he got like elected mayor. Is this
Mm,
his that's not his daughter, right?
yeah.
It is?
What? What? Yeah.
Okay, okay.
It was. What I mean?
So that's the thing, like, I don't have a super strong grasp on the whole political spectrum there, I
Uh,
guess. So I was kinda,
oh,
like,
he ran
asking is if
for mayor,
yeah, yeah, he ran for mayor, right.
and his
Is
vice mayor is his son.
right,
So it doesn't
and
make sense actually. Currently he's asking for the Hague to have him released because he has some mental issues or something. So, if you have some mental issues or something, you should have not run for mayor already. It doesn't make
that
sense.
that's a valid point. I can get with that. I
Why would you run for mayor if you know that you will have some problems already? You're too old enough, very old actually, like to
it seems
be
like
in
every world
position.
politician is really old, honestly. I don't quite understand it. It's like here in our country, they're super old. It's weird because they're super old, but when it comes to like judges and things like that, there's like a retirement age cutoff. Like one of my relatives was a judge for a little while, and they had to retire by a certain age. Like they were required to retire. So I never understood that with politicians, how they can like continue the work even once they're past a certain age.
Right,
I don't really get it.
there's money in politics. There's corruption in politics. So
Definitely, definitely. I completely I do understand that. I just don't understand how, like, they don't
you
get
should
kinda, like,
try to
pushed out
actually
by
talk to the people commenting.
actually
That's how
haven't
you get your subscribers.
I haven't seen any messages, maybe mine aren't open for some reason. Yeah, see, I don't have any there's nothing on the bottom here for me.
There is.
It says I have top oh, there it is. God. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it wasn't open, that was my problem. Eek. Yeah, like I said, I'm getting used to this whole live thing. When you do it, it automatically pops up. Yeah, I could have been like, it looks like I missed opportunity to explain what was going on to these people, and I apologize for that. Um, I'll get better with it. Um, where were we? Where were we? So isn't the Hague like the international detention too, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's been there how long again?
I forgot, few months, maybe three.
Oh, the guy's only been locked in there a few months. Huh. I would imagine that would be like a pretty. I don't want to be like relaxed or nice prison. You know what I mean? But
It's a
I,
better prison compared to the
yeah,
prisons here.
I
You
feel
have
like
a
it'd be a better
kitchen
prison.
there.
Yeah, yeah,
You can
exactly.
cook.
Yeah, we don't have that here in our country even. So,
Well, at least in Charlie Kirk's funeral, there's a fireworks.
oh, dude, I didn't see that. I saw that it was
So
God. It was
stupid.
like some bank hosted it, State Farm or something like that, or insurance company did like the wake. We love
Trump was
fireworks in
doing
America,
his
dude.
Trump was doing eulogy, and then he kind of talked about like the new renovations in the White House.
Oh, really?
He made the eulogy all about him, along with the
Ah,
fireworks when he entered the fireworks.
dude. Like I said, dude, Americans love fireworks. Any excuse to blow shit up, I think we just take it. You know what I mean? I don't know where that's from. Like 4th of July, man, dude. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like
But it's a
so many fireworks all
funeral.
the time.
Why would you-
Celebrating the life. Celebrating the life, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or something.
celebrating the life of a racist.
I mean, it depends on your view on that. I don't think he is racist.
Oh,
Um,
really?
not really, no. No, not Charlie specifically. Maybe some people who support him and everything else like that. Like Charlie Kirk, he had like strong views and stuff like that, and whatever else. He definitely had unpopular opinions and things, but I don't think he was racist.
Oh,
Like
really?
I don't know. No, no. He I definitely don't think he was racist. There's lots of like like instances of him talking to like minority communities and things like that where it's pretty
Mm,
acceptable. Like I watched a video. This is after he was dead and stuff. Like they were trying to push his content a lot on the internet. So I saw a video of him talking with this like African American guy about money funding certain like low income areas and things like that. And what he was talking about was that like it's a lack of like predominant parent figures in the home. And he was using statistical analysis about like
mm,
the decline in the community based off the fact that it's usually single parent homes for the last 50 years. Like the percentage has dropped from like 75% to 25% as far as like parents, like the father figure being in the home and the requirement for state aid to be administered to these families and stuff. I don't think he's a racist guy. I think he was well informed about the situation and he just had like a specific opinion about it. You know what I mean?
I'll
I
send you
like
screenshots
I
of
don't
his
completely
tweets.
agree with Charlie on all his points, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't, but I think that he was well grounded, not really that super racist. Maybe there's instances, I don't know. I don't know. I think people would say I'm racist sometimes too, but I don't think I am. I don't really care. So that's the thing. I think I think racist gets thrown around a lot, just like the word Nazi these days, and I don't approve. I think that a lot
Not
of like
really.
yeah, I think even like lots of like if you were someone who like encountered a Nazi and you were to hear all these people saying Nazi nowadays, I think that you'd be pretty like sick to your stomach because people really have not a lot of real idea what it means to be something like that to, you know. But that's just me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that it's kind of weird how much political turmoil is like going on in Asia. Was this rally mostly organized through like Gen Z and stuff like that, or
Um, I don't think so. The one here actually is mostly one in Luneta, the park. is was attended by like most people from other sectors of the community. But I think most of the people who attended the rally are working individuals because they're the one paying taxes.
Right, of course. I was just curious because I know like a lot of the other rallies going on in that general area, whether it was like
Hmm.
Indonesia or like Nepal or anything else like that, was all kind of like orchestrated through the Gen Z population. And that's kind of like why I was like curious if it was them also kind of organizing and helping
I
to
think the
have
one
make
in
this kind of thing
Nepal
happen.
is mostly like young people
Hmm.
because they kind of blocked Facebook there during that time and that made
Yeah.
everyone angry.
Governments like to do that, let me tell you. When I was in Turkey and they had those protests for like obviously similar political reasons and stuff like that, I think there it was they incarcerated like the mayor of Istanbul, and
Yeah.
because he was like a opponent party to the current president, and I'm drawing a blank on his name, but yeah, they imprisoned him, and then that's what caused those like 2,000 some people to go protest in the city. So
And I think the one in Indonesia went bad because, like, I think a Grab driver died doing a protest, and it made people angry.
yeah, that makes sense. Anytime someone dies during a protest, that kind of like sparks a little bit of outrage and things like that.
Yeah,
I think it's not a good look on anybody, you know.
it's like
So most of the
George
violent
Floyd. No,
George Floyd, yeah, no,
so different.
exactly. No, that's a good example. When something extreme happens, it tends to send people into an uproar,
Mm.
and then you get like this catastrophic failure of the system, and the herd will lead people to do actions they otherwise would not. Like obviously that was a tragedy. I'm not going to say it's not, but then the fallout from that is, riots and destruction of property, usually in the communities that these people are from too. It's not even like you know, you're going to some community of these people who you're protesting against and wrecking their stuff. You're literally wrecking your own stuff a lot of the time, and that kind of to
Um,
me seems self-destructive. I don't think that that's probably the right. That's just me. I get being outraged though.
but do you think the George Floyd thing is a race thing?
That I would have to say probably because that like was said I think more than once that there was other instances of this police officer behaving in similar ways. And,
Hmm.
like, I don't know all the details because I'm not usually heavily invested in things like that, just in general, like, uh, not because it's like a race thing or anything like that, or it's just I try not to overindulge in the madness that is herd mentality, you know what I mean? So, like, I do
Mm.
remember hearing that he had similar instances in his past before, with other African American individuals. So to me, it seemed pretty damning to the police officer. But then again, like I don't know all the details, at least with the specific incident itself. You know what I mean? I just remember that a guy died. He's a certain skin color, and then that prior that he had similar issues with people of the same skin color. So to me, it seemed kind of like a race-based thing. And again, that's
I see.
without knowing the full amount of details which are necessary to kind of calculate a conclusion like that. I think so. That's the thing. I think that with race things, and I hope I would assume you agree with me that you have to have like collective information. You can't have like one isolated incidents unless it's like straight out hate speech, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because like when I was with you, you know what I mean. You said a couple times while we were drinking that I kind of said something that was offensive, right? You know what I mean? But would you
What was it?
characterize? Am I wrong? Right?
What was it?
I can't
Remind me.
remember exactly. There was like one or two times where I think I'd mentioned something inappropriate, like in an inappropriate way, contextually to something you had told me
Mm.
prior to that. But it was probably because of the alcohol and stuff like that. You know what I mean? We were talking. I think the one time was something about Rizal and stuff, and like it was just maybe the way I worded it out because I was talking about like
Now
the
it's not
span.
how you worded it.
But you know what I'm saying. But you don't think that I'm racist because of that, right? You know what I mean?
But
It was just like probably poor choice of words or whatever else.
that's that's not related to race. Actually, the one you mentioned is Rizal. You just mentioned that Rizal was like a lapdog of the Spanish.
I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it. What I said was he understood how the Spanish think. That's kind of like what I was trying to get out there, though. You know what I mean? I wasn't.
It's
I think I was. I think I was drunk, and that was the problem. So what I was trying to get out at the time was that because he was enveloped in within the Spanish mindset. You get what I'm saying? That he had an
mm,
understanding of the Spanish, and that helped him to remove them from the social sphere of the Filipinos and stuff. And I think that's what I was trying to get out. It's not coming out like that. You know what I
that's it.
mean? Does that kind of like make sense? But you don't think I'm like discriminatory or whatever else because of that, right? You know what I mean? That's like an isolated incident.
I don't think that's
That's what I'm
about
trying to say
race.
here.
I just you think Rizal
Not
was a
really,
lapdog
no.
of the Spanish.
That's not what I meant, though. I didn't mean that at all. That was not what I meant. Um, yeah. Anyway, but that's what I'm saying. I think for the
I,
most part, you can't like use isolated incidences. That's all.
I,
That's
I
all.
mean, if
Yeah.
you wanted to experience some division, we should go to India. I
India.
think they still have the caste system there.
Um, I don't think they technically do. Technically, like legally, they're
Mhm.
supposed to. I think, however, it is commonplace still. That's my understanding, at least. I might be
That's it.
wrong. I don't think it's legally allowed anymore,
That's
but
it.
it's probably still mostly practiced. Yeah. Cast do you think you'd be in?
I don't know, middle class.
Well, you know the caste class system or whatever. You know what they are?
I forgot. We used to like talk about it in Asian history, but
Okay, I don't know all of them.
they had three castes. I forgot.
I think there's more than three, but
Do you know that before we were colonized, we have a caste system to here in the Philippines?
I kind of would assume. I think lots of places did. No, but tell me more about it, man. I am interested to hear about it. How it was like organized.
So, um, the one on like the rich, on the higher caste is called Maharlika. It's where like the leader, the dato, and those things. And then the middle class is called Timawa. And then there are two lower classes. It's called Alipin. Alipin is a slave in English. So there are two kinds of alipin. Aliping namamahay and aliping sa gigilid. The aliping
Okay,
mamamahay has still the right to be timawa or middle class, but aliping sa gigilid has no right at all. So they're forever slaves.
gotcha. So that's kind of how like Rome was too. Like because they had two different versions of slaves. I think
Mm.
also similar take is what you were saying. Like one has the right to gain freedom and the other one doesn't for whatever reason. I can't remember exactly what they're called, but that's an
Yeah.
interesting thing there.
Which
I
is weird
sorry to
actually.
relate it.
Recently I was just watching a documentary about slaves in um, Roman times.
So you know what I'm talking about
Just
then,
yeah, I was like because they were kind of comparing the slaves during the Roman Empire and the Greeks to the
hmm
slavery in America, which is so
Yeah, dude,
different.
it's completely different. S- Roman Greek slaves were usually treated pretty well, like for slaves. You know what I mean? That's what the documentary kind of was getting at, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Could you tell me a little bit more? I like stuff like that. I think it's really interesting. The difference in perspective to like American culture in general.
what's interesting is actually how they punish people or how they know the lies. So, like for example, someone was like accused of stealing something. Okay,
Right?
so the way they know how to, the way they know actually if you have stolen someone is, for example, there's a boiling water there, and then if you put your hand in the boiling water, and you'll have like a lot of
Bumps.
lesions. Then
Yeah.
you're a thief.
Yes, I love the logic. It's great logic, dude. It works.
Sometimes
Obviously
also
correct.
they I think they depend on like faith healers. Um, most of the people pre-colonial times believe in like the nature.
Yep.
So most of the
Unless
things or
you're
like their decisions are mostly related to how nature works. Like for example, if you've done something like heavier than stealing, they would like put you in a tree and let ants like eat you. If you could survive, then you're you're innocent, something like that. I can't
oh yeah,
really
dude. I get you.
share
It's
the
like it's
exact
like
real thing. I've forgotten about it.
if you're not a witch, you will drown. It's okay. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Well, we're just gonna throw you in the lake, you know what I mean? If you survive, you're a witch. Like,
Yeah.
I totally understand. The logic is that a lot of the logic on stuff like that, it just doesn't make any sense at all. I think it was just an excuse to get rid of the person. I think
You know
communities
what's
in
weird? You know what's weird? Just yesterday, I was actually watching a documentary about the Blair Witch.
the
Do
Blair,
you know it?
like the movie, the Blair
Yeah,
Witch Project, or like a documentary about the movie.
the Blair Witch.
Oh, dude, yeah, dude. That started a whole kind of movie genre, almost more or less. I mean, it probably
Yeah, it
existed
started.
beforehand.
I think it's called Drop Camera. I don't know. It's a drop cam kind of movie
It's
wherein someone
God,
is actually like holding the camera.
yeah,
The
yeah,
the way
yeah.
the way that I'm doing actually with my blood.
Kind
Just
of
make it
similar, yeah.
horror.
You could get like people out there. You pay like a couple people, like do like a robbery scene, and everything out. You know what I mean? You could live. What is it? Live footage horror, I think, or something. Live footage. There's like a special name for it, but drop camera works. I think it's called a couple different things. You could do that. I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah, and I could be in prison.
No, if everyone's consenting, you'll be all right. That's the thing.
I don't
When
know.
you see big abandoned buildings, you could go into those and show people the insides of those or something like that.
No.
No, that's pretty big here
But
in like
do you
America.
know the history of the Blair Witch?
I think that it's like supposed to be based off true stuff or whatever, some crap like that. What is it? Don't they go to see like a cult in the woods and film it, or isn't that kind of what the plot synopsis of the movie is, or something?
Yeah, apparently there were times where children have been gone actually. There seemed to be a house on that area, and it's where they say that the witch is staying or something, or appears actually, and does things. So I kind of forget the, the idea. There was this like woman actually who is kind of doing some witchcraft, and I don't know. It seems like people were after her, but she just suddenly disappeared one day. And then, like,
Yeah.
after how many years, actually, some people would go to that area where he does his witchcraft, allegedly, and they would suddenly disappear.
Oh.
So, those people who went there actually were um, looked for by the people in the community.
Yeah.
But weirdly, actually, those people who were lost were able to come back. But those people who tried to look for them were seen dead already near that place where they allegedly say that the witch is staying or something. And
Yeah,
then
dude.
then after how many years, maybe tens of years or something, like a group of kids would actually go there and be lost again, and they were not found anymore. So then it became like a cycle wherein some people would be lost and they would like give the credit to the Blair Witch.
Ugh. Just group of crazy people, some family out there killing people. I bet, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
That's no, I'm kidding. I Superstition to me is like weird. You know, I'm like a little superstitious sometimes, but I usually believe that it's just events you can't explain. You know, it is really creepy though that people keep going missing.
yeah.
It's weird that like the one group would come back though. That kind of like sets it up different for me. Urban legends are one of those things that are just I don't know. Every community has like one or two usually, and I never get them. I never understand them. That's why I don't. We talked about them before, and I really don't remember very many of them. So
So did I tell you about like the urban legends of our province?
with the snake in the mall and stuff, it
No,
used to be a kid and
no.
everything else. Not that one.
Hmm. Like how I think I've told you this actually. How the Spaniards use religion and like the natives who believes in a swans.
That's ones,
Um,
yeah.
how they use religion actually for to make the people be converted to being Catholics. So the the Spaniards actually created some. They settled here in some of the islands here in the Philippines, right? So
Yeah.
their main purpose is actually to convert the natives into Catholics.
Of course. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
During that time, actually, people believe in aswangs. So what happened is that during ni- during nighttime, the Spaniards would like attack communities and make them think that the aswangs are attacking them.
Dang,
And
dude.
during mass, they would sell the natives religious relics for them
to protect
to
them.
they will be using it actually to be, like something that will make the songs disappear or like stay away from
Yeah,
them
yeah.
because it's supposed to have powers, things like that. So that's how
Protective
they,
amulet.
yeah, that's how they kind of force the natives actually to convert into Catholics. It's written
You know,
actually in books.
that is not a totally uncommon practice, I feel like, with like colonialism, imperial colonialism. I think they do that a lot.
Did you remember that most of the churches are made of bricks?
Yeah, I
So
do.
um, priests would actually encourage the people to bring bricks every mass so that they could build the church. So
Bring one
each
brick
time,
as
yeah,
your tithe.
yeah,
It's, I think you did tell me that actually. I mean, that's a good way to get a church built, man. You know what I mean? Everyone
yeah.
just bring one brick, guys. Everyone required to bring one brick every mass. Sorry, guys. That, that's a good. That's good strategy. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I kind of messed up, but it works. It works. Gets the job done, I guess.
I
I
think I
think we
haven't.
kind of like.
There's
Go
another
ahead.
story actually. So during the war, when we were kind of colonized by the Japanese, we had this town actually. Basically, most of the towns in our provinces were trying to fight the Japanese. So there's
Yeah.
this general actually um, who thought that it would be a good idea actually to like scare the Japanese. So he kind of
Hell
spread the
yeah.
idea that he's an aswang.
Oh heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah. Reversal.
Yeah, but the thing is that the aswang idea is not in Japanese culture. So what
No,
happened
I
is
mean
that it's the locals who feared him because he's aswang.
shit. Shit.
It's so
Backfired. Damn it. That sucks. Totally backfired on that guy, didn't it? They
you know
have
what's
kind of like weird similar stuff, but not the same.
you know
Yeah.
what's weird? At that town, until now, we're known as a town of aswangs. So most people would not like to go or visit their town because of the idea that um
All because one
the
guy tried to
yeah,
scare the Japanese way back in the
yeah,
day, right?
then suddenly everyone is aswang there already.
Hey man. Village of Demons, what can you say? I'm surprised it didn't work on the Japanese exactly because they don't have like a swang, but they have like a lot of similar stuff.
That's
And
true.
there's like so many anime tropes about villages of demons and stuff like
But the
that.
thing
So
is that
it's
even if
that's what
like
it
they
reminds
have
me
the
of.
same idea, I think the Japanese doesn't know how to speak English during that time. Even if they
Yeah.
can, I think it will be hard since that most Filipinos in that time also don't know how to speak English.
Yeah, they weren't prioritizing hearing what the locals had to say, I bet you at all.
Uh,
I don't think they cared. Yeah. So why would they learn the language, you know?
hmm.
It's yeah, kind of a it was like a good intentioned plan, but doomed to failure, unfortunately. It's cool that you got a demon village now, though. That's pretty sweet. I'll have to go visit there sometime. Maybe get my belly licked or something like that. I guess
We
I
can.
can't get pregnant.
We still have healers actually that could. That, I don't know.
Pull nails out of my arm.
They could
Is that
actually
what you're talking about?
extract some stones, maybe black rice.
Extract some stones and get all the toxins right out of my body, doing. Hell yeah. I can't wait. No, I think those are really interesting. Like I always liked all the shamans and like the Amazon and stuff like that. You know, have you ever heard about like ayahuasca?
What?
You know what that is?
What's
It's
that?
called ayahuasca.
What's that?
It's like something they drink in the
Mm-hmm.
jungles in the Amazon and stuff for like religious practice stuff. It's like super hallucinogenic. It's just one of those things. I don't know. It's like for like faith healer ceremonies and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like talking about it. It's something I would check into, man. I think you'd find it interesting because it
Mm-hmm.
like follows like the similar lines and everything else. I can't remember where exactly it is, but there's also I think it's somewhere in Asia. They have like bees, but the honey that they gather is also used in like spiritual practice, but it's also hallucinogenic too. So like you eat the honey,
Hallucination.
yeah, like so like you see stuff and you hear stuff and whatever else. Here in America, there's like one you can try if you go to certain Native American tribes. Normally it's illegal, but if you go to one of their
Is
ceremonies,
it
you
the
can
one
like
that
try
where
it.
they smoke? The one that they smoke that will make you hallucinogenic? I mean, I've
No, I
seen
mean
some.
there might be that as well somewhere, but I'm not. That's not what I'm talking about
I see.
specifically. There's a couple different. There's quite a few different practices among Native Americans. So, but that's not the one I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, it's called like peyote, which is like a
Mm.
cactus,
Ah,
and then you go
is it
on your like
is it the
vision
one?
quest.
Is it the one that Saka drank? Just
Who?
kidding. Saka.
Taka? Oh, actually, it's not, but I think that that was kind of like the joke the whole time is that that
Okay.
was what was going on.
Mm.
I think that was the joke actually, but no, it's the cactus looks different. It's weird. Here in America, we have like
Well,
several different
technically,
kinds.
all the things like the plants and the animals in Avatar: The Lesser Bender are not supposed to be available here in our world.
Right.
It's like a mixture of two different animals or two different plants, I think. And the
Yeah.
joke about it is that did you remember the king of Basing say has a
Boxing
bear?
say with the bear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the joke.
I
That
and they're like,
it's the only one that's not mixed.
yeah. No, I get what you're saying completely because they're like, well, you mean a turtle bear, a
Yeah,
platypus bear, and
yeah.
yeah, I remember.
I,
Yeah.
I
No,
I didn't really expect that you watched that show. I just thought that you were just saying it.
I've seen most things.
Did you wish that
Even if I don't
there's
remember.
like a book four?
Book 4? I expected there to be a book 4, but I guess in retrospect, I shouldn't have considering the airbenders were kinda wiped off the map. So, I think it makes sense that there wasn't.
There
You
was
get what I'm
supposed to be a
saying?
book four actually. Basically, Ang wanted to to start an air nation again. That's why he has a lot of kids actually, because he's trying to like
Mhm.
repopulate the earth with airbenders, and he kind of opened all of like the air temples. That's why during chorus time there are air acolytes already, because he's trying to
Right, yeah.
preserve the culture of the air nomads.
Yeah, to maintain the cycle of the avatar and everything
Yeah.
else too, I bet. But, I think that's the thing, like, they probably realized that that wasn't gonna be as entertaining to watch after they created all the hype with the other stuff, they had, like, that climactic fight and so there's, like, the rising tension throughout the series,
Mm.
and once you hit that high level of tension, I think what the problem is with doing that after the fact, at least in the same series, is that less it would drop the audience would drop off dramatically probably, you know what I mean? And then you're also targeting children, so it's like, you know, that and it's kind of like done. I think that it would have been a great spin-off series. They could have done like a one season one off. You know what I mean? And done
I
it.
think you can really tap Ozai's and Aang's fight. Actually, that's like pick Avatar already. So
That's what I'm saying. Like
mm,
it's pretty high high intensity and stuff and like very dramatic. You know, they're like burning the face of the earth from
mm,
airships and fighting in the air with all sorts of stuff. You know, it's kind of like it's pretty peak. It's pretty peak. It's
yeah.
hard to like up on that. You know what I mean? So I think that might be the issue.
Did you
Korra was
watch
decent.
Korra? Did you watch
I
it?
watched some of it. I didn't watch all of it. I think I only watched like the like the blood bending saga portion of it.
Ah, the
So there was
first season.
oh, so there also I also watched what is it? Where she learned about the first avatar. I don't know if that was in the first season also or not.
Uh, no, that's I think that's in the uh, I forgot.
Where like the force of light is fighting the force of chaos and they got all these
No, no,
spirits running around.
that's during the time when there was that's the second season, I think.
Okay.
Because
I probably watched
that
it all.
that happened when Korra was like poisoned by who's that bald guy who you didn't watch it.
I mean,
Yeah, he
I think I
was
watched it, but I
poisoned.
just don't I'm not good with names, so
She was poisoned actually, and he was thrown on like the earth because she felt like she kind of failed the world actually, and he cut the avatar cycle. The avatar cycle was cut.
failed the world.
So,
Failed the world. Um,
and that's
hey
also
man.
the time when what's the term? Convergence. There was like a shift in the world that there suddenly are like airbenders. It's so crazy already. You should watch it actually. The
I
good
think I've seen it, but I can't place all of the details because it was a while ago. I think it's when it first aired,
it's
probably.
just recently actually that I appreciate Kara. Um, Most of the time actually the antagonists have different ideologies. And that's I appreciate more. You will learn actually how communism works, how authoritarian kind of government work actually
Yeah.
because most of the antagonists were have a different political ideologies and
Mhm.
you'll
Yeah.
understand how it works. They always kind of want like the good for everything, but their political
How they go
beliefs
about it.
kind kind of have a different what do you outcome.
Yeah, the
So the
bloodbender guy basically had like a bunch of act like again I hate relating to Nazis, but he basically had like a whole like cult of fucking Nazis running around dude with the goddamn
mm,
weird masks and shit. Like, um, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I don't know. I'm like weird about stuff like that in kids shows. Like a little bit is okay. Um, it's like the political socialization of children is kind of like it's good to learn about that stuff, but it's just like it's how you frame it and everything else like that. I guess. I think it's a good show. I really like the level of industrialization in it because they went from like, kind of rustic peoples to like this industrialization where they got cities and cars and everything else. Like I thought that was like an interesting shift in like the narrative devices and stuff, definitely.
I
Uh,
just realized
It's good.
actually that I just realized that The first season was more about communism. Yeah, that's true because they kind of wanted equality. The equalists, I think, that are the people who like believes that person who does blood bending,
Yeah.
and they wanted like to remove all the people who are benders their bending ability so that everyone will be equal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So kind of
It is like really strange. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I mean. They're like it's like you were saying, kind of communism, but it's like they were kind of like behaving as Nazis. You know, like who? Let's just sterilize all these people because we
that's
don't
true also.
think they should
Also
sterilize their
kind of
bending.
racism.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to like exactly relate it to racism exactly because it's not
But
to me
but isn't
particular
the
racism, but
aren't the Nazis wanted like are communists also, right?
they I think they're classified as fascists,
A
but
fascist. Like,
fascism, yeah. It's one of those things that's like I think a little nuanced sometimes. Like sometimes like a lot of this stuff kind of overlaps to me. They're like different, you know what I mean, in their own ways, but they overlap. There's like I'm not like huge into political theory, so to me they're like similar but not exactly the same. It's just like how they go about doing different things, probably. Because like you got authoritarianism, you got socialism, you got communism and fascism, and they're all kind of like to me just different faces, different petals on the flower of bad fucking political policy. You know what I mean?
mm,
That's just how I look at it. So a little bit. That's just me though. Not that any political political ideology is perfect. It's definitely not. And a lot of the time it's the people who are involved that actually make those systems bad. Because let's be real, socialism on paper seems like a decent plan, but it's like it's all about how the people who run it and everything else like that, the policies they create and shit like that. Like I do like videos on eugenics too. Like and I'm trying to do like a whole series on those because of historical context of how people view eugenics and the misuse of the scientific device of eugenics. So again, it's the people that's the problem and stuff like that. I think a lot of the time it's not so much like the ideas that are the problem. It's how people go about orchestrating the ideas and use them in poor context. You know what I mean? So that's just me.
I I think also actually socialism actually could have been a good idea, but it's not like a good ideology for humans actually, since
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
humans could be corrupted, and there's a
Exactly.
fine line for it. I think that's why most of the socialist countries didn't actually, um, you know,
Succeed.
get better because.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
what I'm
have
saying. Like, I completely agree with you. On paper, it
it
seems like a
depends
good
also
idea.
with the leader. I told you that Yugoslavia was once a great country because their leader, they have a socialist kind of government also, but
Mhm.
their leader like kept them glued apart, that there were no kind of great um you know disagreements or
Yeah.
something.
No, I get what you're
but
saying.
but when their leader died, actually everything was falling apart already. That's why they're all divided.
No, I completely understand. That happens a lot when sometimes those systems will work good when you have just the right person to
mm,
hold the chaotic system together. But it's
mm,
unfortunate that like the second that person leaves the system, all of a sudden it collapses in on itself. And like you were saying, it's the people that are the problem often more
mm.
than anything. Because honestly, like let's be real, treating people fairly and all that stuff is like just it's an idealistic idea, it's idealistic on paper, it sounds amazing, everyone gets what they need and this, that, and the other. Idealistically, it's great, but it's just like, unfortunately, because of human nature and how they compete against each other, it's just, and the fact that they're so easily corruptible when they have the lowest bar of power and authority, it's just not really super feasible. And then, like, it's not to say that it can't happen when you have the right person, like you said with Yugoslavia. But again, once that person is gone, the chaotic system collapses in on itself and it basically
And
implodes.
do you know what divided Yugoslavia?
Ah, I'm not positive right offhand here. I'd,
Religion,
I'd have to like dig in my brain. Religion? Oh, go figure, dude.
because
The,
each country has like their different religion
yeah,
that
God,
divided everything, and also money. Because, like for example, one of the first countries who like got out of Yugoslavia is Slovenia because they're earning more and they don't want to share from the poor countries like
yeah.
um what's the first poor country there? Cor- Macedonia, North Macedonia actually. And what's the one with wars? Actually, I forgot.
You gotta be a little more specific there. You gotta be a little more specific. Um, God, I can't remember, dude.
What's the what's the country near Bosnia and Herzegovina?
God, I'm thinking like Croatia and Serbia and all sorts of
Uh,
stuff right now.
Croatia is Croatia is like a richer country,
Yeah.
like the top of North Macedonia.
I'm thinking I'm unfortunately getting on Montenegro where Montenegro is at, and that's my problem right now because you got like Montenegro there, or
Serbia,
no, that is
Serbia.
North Macedonia, Serbia.
The
Yeah,
next
so
one,
that's what
the
I'm saying. I'm like
next,
stuck in that general area right now.
like the neighbor near Serbia.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting stuck. I'm getting stuck here, dude, on the map. Um, a lot of those places were like war torn from stuff like that, though. Like
Yeah,
religion and everything else, and that just goes back to like human nature and stuff like that. When you have this like super strong ideology that like opposes like your neighbors, and then you use that to facilitate and justify acts that are wrong. Human by what humans morally accept as generally wrong. And it doesn't matter what religion you are or anything like that or where you're from, that most people agree that certain contextual things are morally wrong, and people will use
yeah,
religion and money to justify improper action. So it's just common. I
that's
think
true.
that's just common. That's why you had so many like splittings of countries in Europe in general and everything else. They genocides, massive amounts of genocides through the 70s to 90s. You know what I mean? All over the place.
Mm,
I think that's a lot of what all that is. It's just like various forms of human immorality starting at the top. But enough of that, you know what I mean? This was a great live, man. I can't wait to do the next one on Tuesday, or we'll do one on Friday, obviously on your channel.
yeah,
But I
I'm still
will be
thinking
ready
of
to do
the
this
that
one.
country.
It'll pop in your head at the last, like the when like later today you'll like be thinking, and it'll just pop into your head. That's how it goes, man. It really does. So,
And I
but yeah,
would,
take it easy, man.
would you still want to talk about politics on Friday?
Yeah, we can politics all the time. I don't care. I don't care. Yeah,
We should
I'm good with
talk
that.
about India.
Yeah, the caste system. You
Oh,
should double check the caste system because I know the caste system there actually. That's why I was
I see,
like asking you. And
I see,
yeah, there's more than 3.
I see.
But yeah,
We'll
we'll
see.
talk then. Bye.
Bye.
Satrias.